One of the top suggested ways right now to be a little bit more profitable in the cow-calf industry is to switch your model to a direct-to-consumer beef model. For a long time, I kind of wrote this idea off for us because we're so small. I was like, we would never have consistent supply. This just wouldn't work for us. But now that we're getting ready to expand, it's kind of back on the table and I'm reconsidering it. So we've been thinking about what would it look like if we actually did that. So here's why switching to direct-to-consumer beef is not as simple and as easy and butterflies and rainbows as some people may lead you to believe. You basically have to more than triple your assets and your resources to raise those cattle. So if you think about a traditional cow-calf, you have the mama cows, you have a bull or you're AIing them, you have the mama cows have their babies, they calve out, and you sell those calves 8 months later, somewhere in there. So you need enough grass, hay, grain, whatever kind of feed you are using to raise those cows, to put weight back on those cows after they calve, and then to be able to wean those calves before you sell them. So for example's sake, let's just say that you brought some open cows and you bred them. You've got a 9-month gestation period before they calve, and then you've got 8 more months when you're raising those calves before you sell them. That is when you're going to see your first check, your first sale, your first potential for profit. We're in that 17 to 18 month time frame before you ever make any money. Now let's look at direct to consumer models. For example's sake, we'll start at that same point. You have an open cow, you breed her, 9 months later she has a calf. Now you're going to raise that calf, but instead of selling it at 8 months old, you're going to retain it. Depending on your operation, that calf may be ready to go and turn into steak and hamburger and all of the lovely, delicious beef between 12 months and 30 months old, kind of depending on how you do things on your operation. So let's say you take that steer now to be butchered at 2 years old. We are now at 2 years plus 9 months of the cow's gestation before we are able to even sell that end product. So you've gotten your steer butchered, you're ready to sell direct to consumer. I hope and pray that during that time you've been building a market for your product, because if you haven't, now's the time to hit the ground running. Don't forget, we're not just talking about time here. Not only are you talking about the time from when you got started to when you get to have a sale, we're also talking about additional inputs, because those cows and those steers and their calves, everything that you're retaining ownership of is still eating and needing to put on weight for you to keep making money. This is going to mean you need access to more land, more hay, more grain, more whatever you're feeding them. So if you're going direct to consumer, you're actually going to need to reduce the size of your cow herd so you can feed the others or get more land.